Morning, everybody. Welcome to the next edition of the brokenStones weekly podcast. Joining me this week is Emma Mills from MiPA. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you very much for having me, Jonathan.
No, it's our pleasure. Just for the sake of the listeners and the viewers, Emma runs a business away from our normal geography. You guys are based up in the Northwest. MiPA, it's a virtual PA business, which Emma's going to tell us an awful lot more about. But just for people checking in for the first time, these podcasts are really bit of business chat, a bit of history about Emma's business, her motivations, and hopefully she's got some tips and advice for people starting out in business and developing their businesses. So maybe a good place to start, Emma, introduce yourself maybe and just tell us a brief bit about MiPA.
Yeah, so my name is Emma and the business is called MiPA, and this year is our 13th year in existence, and we provide two services. Basically, all of our customers are general business owners, and we provide two services. We either answer their phone calls, which is a very quick win for most businesses to free up time, to improve customer service, to leverage them as a business owner. And the other service we provide is PA support. So although that's quite a generic term, that can go from PA support in your personal life to implementing marketing to operational and customer service stuff. Basically, I guess a lot of the things that a business owner gets involved in by nature of the fact that you end up wearing lots of hats in the beginning as you progress through. And we look to take off those things that we can help with that you don't enjoy, that aren't the best use of your time. That's what MiPA does.
Cool. I mean, outsourcing in most areas of business is a massive deal now. How long has virtual PAs and this sort of business been around for? Were you one of the first businesses, or?
That is a really good question. I feel like call answering services have been around for a lot longer, and that's probably in the 90s at some point they started. But when I started this business in 2008, I was a PA at the time, and it was just becoming the word like VA, virtual assistant, was kind of in the ether then, and people were becoming more aware of outsourcing to someone that can get stuff done, not having someone full time. So probably, like, I would say the virtual assistance thing more like late 2000s, like 2008 onwards.
No, cool. I'm going to put you on the spot now. If you were selling the business to a potential client now, what would you say the value is that you add?
I thought you were going to say, what is the value of your business?
No, right, it wouldn't be that personal, no. If we were looking at your services now, how would you sell the value to me?
So there's probably a short answer and a long answer, but the medium answer is the first thing that I need somebody to think about is just the value of their time. And ultimately, everything we do, while we improve customer service, while we make the business more efficient, while we give you flexibility to scale up and scale down without committing to employing or managing or training, one of the key things that we do, especially for business owners, because we all know like what a lonely place it can be and how much hard work it is and how much of a roller coaster, we help you to leverage each hour of the day. And you know, I talk to business owners about, once you realize the value of your hours. So whether you want to earn £50 an hour, £100 an hour, £1,000, and the numbers, like, you know, it's different for everyone, but because you've got most business work, most business owners, let's say you do like an 8 to 10 hour day, it is absolutely the choice that you make of what you do in each hour categorically dictates the success of either what you're earning or your business. Or, you know, so like as a business owner, I can spend all day in my emails or finding the invoices for the bookkeeper, and I can easily fill my day with all that jazz that makes you feel really busy, and it's stuff that needs to get done. But if until you get your head around the fact that those things need to get done, should I be doing them? Is it going to actually get me to where I want to be, whether that is financially, or even if it's just, you know, leaving the office on time and spending time with your family and kids and not doing your emails on a Saturday when you should be doing other things. It's like, I feel like once you really think about what I've just done in the last hour, did that get me closer to where I'm going, or is it just busyness? Like that's the value for me of what and I mean, obviously there's all the jazz around, you don't need to manage and motivate us and the work just gets done, but that's the really juicy stuff where, you know, like I think like once it clicks, they go, yeah, right. Like it's a real game changer to go, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to find someone who enjoys doing it, someone that can do it consistently, and I can spend that either finding new customers or going home on time or whatever it might be.
So, I mean, there's obviously a massive attraction for business owners who are trying to grow the business and make most of their time. Is there a time in a business when if I was starting up my own business now, another IT business, you know, obviously budgets and cash is difficult to start with. You know, would taking on a virtual PA, a virtual VA, be a good thing to do when somebody's in startup mode, for instance? I mean, would it?
I think it would be a great thing to do, and I know people would say, "Well, she is going to say now," but ultimately, as a business owner, when you are a startup, you do end up wearing all the different hats, and you just do, because you learn how to do different areas of your business, and sometimes, you know, you just need to do that from a financial perspective as well. But without doubt, you leveraging your time in a cost-effective way is one of the smartest things you can do. And like with, you know, the first quick win of a virtual assistant, whether it's somebody that works on their own at home, whether it's somebody that like more like MiPA, where we have a team that can support you, whether, you know, whichever choice you pick, without that service and that solution, without doubt, gives a business owner the opportunity to get some support without having to commit to, you know, a salary, without having to commit to training them and managing them and having somewhere for them to sit and having that responsibility. And, you know, employing someone is definitely a scary first decision for a lot of people. So for sure, if people aren't aware of the VA proposition or what's possible or what's out there, it's definitely something I would say to look at, because it can easily be a quick win to leverage your time and get more done.
Brilliant. Is there do you have a sweet spot in terms of clients and size of clients and vertical markets, or is it?
That's a tricky one. So we help what I call, you know, like one-man bands, solopreneurs, people who work on their own, and we help. And that can be from trades to consultants. Like they're on their own, they're going to stay on their own. They love what they do because they provide the service and they just need some support. At the other end, as you know, we've got like a couple of Premiership footballers who we manage from like a personal PA perspective. But I'd say in the middle, our widest niche of client is, and it's not a specific sector, but I guess it's that size of business where there may be like up to say 5, 6, 7, 8 people in the business, but the business owner or the people that are running it, whether there's more than one of them, they still don't have any support. So you end up growing a business where you've got lots of people either delivering the service, or they've brought on somebody to do marketing, or they've brought on somebody to do business development, but what the business owner generally does is not get someone to help themselves. So a lot of our clients sit in that kind of bracket of, they've got other people doing other things, but themselves, they're still staying quite sufficient, trying to keep on top of everything. They want to grow, they want a better life balance. And I know that sounds very cliched, but they want to enjoy the day-to-day more, not constantly feeling like they're just trying to keep on top of everything. So I guess that size of business is a bit of a sweet spot for us.
And you guys are a success story in itself, and I know you're growing quite rapidly at present. Do you just want to tell the listeners about the recent history and how well you're doing now?
Yeah, no, of course. So, I mean, we have been in existence for 13 years. I was a VA, self-employed, going to BNI, doing all of that jazz for like first 5 years. And then in 2012, took on my first member of staff. And we've pretty much grown organically since then. And we're at there's 21 of us now. And I guess very specifically, like the last 18 months have been a bit of a revelation for us. And we are, fortunately for us, one of those businesses that over the pandemic and everything, and I'm sure, to be fair, very similar to your business as well, where you provided a service that ultimately really helped people reshape their business into their new working situation, or whatever they decided to do with reshaping how many staff members they had. Or I guess, you know, there's been so much change in businesses over the past 18, 12 months. Ours has certainly been one that's been at the forefront of a solution for people. So yeah, from kind of last May onwards, it has just got busier and busier and busier, and I'm very grateful and thankful for that, for sure. But it's been great to see the impact we're making on so many businesses in different ways. for sure.
The growth of your business, I'm bound to ask this sort of thing now. Obviously, you guys are clients of ours. We support you with your IT. How do you find technology now makes your jobs easier?
God, I mean, without technology, our business wouldn't exist, that's for sure. Like, it's the foundation of everything we do. And I'm also very aware that we don't optimize everything that we have in our capacity and that we get from you guys and all of that. But I mean, yeah, even because with you guys, we're using 365, and over the past year, we've made a concerted effort to start using way more of it, like Teams. We got rid of Slack, and the SharePoint, we got rid of Dropbox, and we should have done all that ages ago. But I mean, generally, yeah, we just, we wouldn't exist if it wasn't for us being able to easily connect and communicate with our customers and create relationships, just like you would have, if we were sat in the same office, that relationship, they're building it in the same way, but over things like Zoom and Teams and all of that. So yeah, no, it's pivotal to what we do.
And obviously you guys have access to quite a lot of, I won't necessarily say other companies' data, but some important information and stuff like that. You guys have to be really switched on, don't you, in terms of data protection and cybersecurity and things like that?
Yeah, no, most definitely. And again, I know you guys have been pivotal in making sure that we've got all the I's dotted and T's crossed for that. But for sure, again, things like LastPass, software, password management, it's all been, it makes, while implementing it, and for other businesses out there that are looking to do things like that, while implementing it might seem like another thing on the list to do, the consequences of it, the efficiencies of it, the security of it, yeah, it's been fantastic for us.
You mentioned when you were starting out, you did the BNI thing and the networking thing, which a lot of small businesses do. Now the business has gained, a good amount of traction and momentum. What do you do now about marketing and putting the business out there? How do you go about that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess for us, there's always been two ways predominantly that we've had business, and that's from referrals, which is always great, and hanging around in the right places. So things like the Entrepreneur Circle, Dent, another thing that I'm a member of, like hanging around where other business owners are that are growing, want to have better ways of working. Like those two have always been great. And then the third, which again, actually I only really investigated from the beginning of the pandemic. And I guess that's because you're at home, there's a lot of attention online. So I've always done videos. I've always created a lot of content to give value only and not to sell. And I guess the next step on from that was we basically started investing in Facebook advertising, a little bit in pay-per-click, but Facebook, but having this like cycle of creating videos that give loads of value, help people to be more efficient, save time, how to manage the time, and then optimizing that with Facebook ads has been, really fantastic. It's been a game changer for us.
And you have your own video channel now as well, don't you? Do you want to tell the listeners about that? Because that's brilliant. I've watched a few of them and they are genuinely interesting.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Jonathan. And so it's called My TV. I mean, on YouTube, you'll find it on our website or on YouTube. The YouTube channel is just called Emma Mills. And yeah, it's a weekly video, short and snappy, 5 to 8 minutes. And my whole purpose of it is that, I mean, it does chart a little bit the things that work well in our business, and literally from speaking to clients and problems that we solve, it's all about giving value, and I hate the word tips, but things that work well with our clients and just giving that value for free, basically.
And what sort of feedback have you had from people from that? Has it allowed you to gain some business, for instance? Can you track?
Yeah, no, definitely. I would highly recommend, and I know that some people hate being on camera or video, and I often say to people you shouldn't, because you'll attract the people that want to listen to you anyway. It doesn't matter whether you're a professional at this or not. The consistency of putting it out weekly, coupled with it just being value and it not being salesy, has, although it's hard to say, oh, well, this came from that and this came from that, it gets referenced so many times in sales conversations. So, I watched, literally, I had a call the other week and somebody said, oh, I watched quite a few videos. It made it much easier to say, yeah, I want to work with this company. They know what they're talking about. It's just been a real, positioning piece as the expert in what we do in PA support and call answering. So it doesn't, at the end of the day, I'll spend a day a month batching some content, and it has been for sure one of the best brand builders that we've ever done.
Yeah, I mean, Chris did something, my boss recently, a series of about 12 videos about cyber essentials, giving free content, free advice, and the feedback we've had is great. What advice could you give to people who may be doing this for the first time and think, yeah, that sounds like me? What would you advise?
My advice would definitely be, don't get in your own way about, do I need to have a cameraman or like all of that jazz, like phone and a selfie light and you know, a little microphone you can buy from Amazon is fine. And my second thing would be, don't underestimate, I don't know if underestimate is the right word, but don't assume that things you take for granted or you know as knowledge, other people just know. So like, as an example, so say like I might do a video on using Loom or something to record processes, or now in my mind, I think, should I really do a video on that? Because everybody's going to know that. And then when I send out a video about Loom, I'll get people replying to my email or commenting saying, oh my God, I've never heard of that before. That's amazing. Like I've started using it. And do you know, I feel like one of the hardest things when you do something day in, day out, you think, well, that's not interesting or exciting because that's just something we do every day. But other people will, who don't, do you know what I mean? Who don't know about it, who are not, they want help about cyber essentials or how to create some processes or something to save some time. So I would say, my thing is like, don't get in your, because I know people find it hard to think about what content to create, but most often the simplest stuff that is simple to you and I, other people don't have a clue about, and they would love to watch free videos about it. So that would be my advice, definitely.
In terms of your business now, what are your next steps? What are the big challenges you guys are facing, and where do you see the development coming from MiPA?
Next steps are to, as you know, like to continue growing, and we're growing in a very consistent way. Like I have some number of clients a month and everything reverses back from that. So it's to grow consistently, because I know a lot of businesses, and we've been there as well, when you like spike and then it breaks a bit and then you drop, and then you have this constant ongoing operational battle. So it's my main focus is to grow consistently in a way we can manage really well, deliver great service. I guess in terms of challenges, I mean, we're at 21 staff now, and I know for sure that when we went from 10 to 15 wasn't so bad. 15 to 20 went a bit wild. Like you all of a sudden realize some people don't get on anymore, or some people, not everybody's friends, and you know, all that kind of internal growing, because we're very, very precious about our culture here. Like we like to have a good time and we're precious about keeping that. So I think probably one of our main focuses as well be that as we grow past the 20-person mark is keeping the MiPA way and our values through everything, because they've done a really good job for so far. And I'm just aware that the more people you get, the more all of this gets diluted. So I think that's one of my main focuses.
Yeah, sure. Cool. What sort of things do you do to keep the staff happy and entertained and motivated? I see quite a lot on Facebook when you guys are out and about and having fun.
Yeah, we do. So I mean, we've just moved office, and we've just built a bar in the corner of the office. So
I'm there already.
You'll have to come and visit. IKEA are very good at inspiration for things like that. So yeah, we have just built a bar. We just, I think for us, what gets noticed by staff is we try and think about the little things. So, you know, always when it's somebody's birthday, without doubt, it's like cake and a card. When somebody's been here on a 1-year anniversary, a 2-year anniversary, it gets rewarded and mentioned. If somebody does something that's like wowed a customer, or it gets highlighted, and I think you don't have to have Google's campus to have happy staff. And I think one of the things we just do really well, and it's like now feeds through, is and team members will say, oh, it's such a body's just done this, or my client's just had a baby, can I send a gift? Or it's kind of in our ethos now to like celebrate small wins. And even if that's just a clap at the team meeting, or, you know, somebody's like highlighted or acknowledged for something that they've done, I think that's one of our main focuses, is just to keep acknowledging like progress and wins and all that. So, yeah.
Change of subjects as we're coming towards the end. What do you do aside away from work? What keeps you going?
So one of the biggest things which I really noticed, so obviously when the gyms were shut in lockdown, so I remember the local thing, it's like a class, and going to the gym, big thing for me, keeps your head in a good place and keeps you energetic for work. And yeah, I noticed that when that doesn't happen in lockdown, because working out from home is rubbish, like the impact it has on you. So yeah, going to gym, going to yoga, And yeah, and walking Ralph, pretty much, my little cavapoo who hangs around in the office every single day.
Brilliant. Office dogs, you'd recommend them, wouldn't you? We have one. You have one.
I mean, I know brokenStones are the epitome of loving the office dog, but
Yeah.
every time I log into my email, still I see a picture of, is it Bernard, the dog?
Yeah, you got Bernard. He's the new one. Yeah, he's very talented. He's very talented at replying to emails. It's amazing.
So yeah, we're a big advocate of the office dog, and everybody loves him. Yeah, and he gets mentioned in a lot of one-to-ones as well, Ralph.
Brilliant, brilliant. I think we'll draw things to a close now because we could probably go on an awful lot about your business and advice that you could give. Perhaps we'll record another one in the future. If you're going to sum up, then, if you're going to give one good piece of advice to small businesses or entrepreneurial business owners, what would you say to them right now in the current environment? Put you on the spot, hasn't it? Yeah.
Oh gosh. What I would say is from a mind, sorry, so yeah, just, I guess completely slightly different to what we talked about. From a mindset point of view, I mean, some businesses have thrived, some businesses have not thrived over the, and I guess that's, an ongoing thing. I feel like for any business owner who is finding things, who is on like a bit of a roller coaster at the moment. And my biggest thing is, I can say that for me, and after 13 years of being in this business, it feels like in the 12th and 13th year, I now get it. I now get where it's all going. I can say that when you keep persisting at one thing, because I do think that's really important, that you're not like, you're focusing on lots of different plans, and you like, if you've got like your passion into one thing, persistence, it does come off. And it might sound a bit cliched, but only just that I've been there myself, where you think, God, should I get a job? Should I do other things? Like, if you keep on persistent at one thing, it eventually gets there. And I feel like it's taken me 13 years. So yeah, that would be my one piece of advice for anybody.